Hello students, myself Mata Yadav, your history teacher. Students, today we will be discussing history chapter Advent of Christianity. Before starting of this chapter, before explaining this chapter, I will tell you related to your notebook. What kind of things you have to do, how you have to make your history and civics notebook. Students, you must be having two notebooks for history and civics, but you will be doing your question answers in only one notebook. So this kind of notebook you must be having. You need to divide 3/4 part of your notebook. 3/4 part of your notebook you will be using for history because you have more number of chapters in history. And 1/4 part of your notebook you will be using for civics chapters. You will be writing your question answers in civics chapters in this part, 1/4 part of your notebook. Students, the very first page of your notebook, on the first page you will be writing over here history, and after that on the next page you can start writing the question and answers which will be given by the us. In that same manner, whenever we will be explaining you the civics chapter and whenever we will be giving you the question and answers of the civics chapter, you will be doing that same thing in the for civics also. Just open the 1/4 part of your notebook, write civics over here and turn the page of that part, and from next page you can start writing the question and answer of your civics chapter. So students, you need to maintain your notebook this time properly and on a daily basis, because this time your notebook will be assessed by the subject teachers. Last time your notebooks was not checked. This time your notebooks and the question answers will be checked on a daily basis or on the different intervals. Now let's proceed with the chapter. Chapter is Advent of Christianity. The meaning of Advent is arrival. Advent of Christianity means arrival of Christianity. Before telling the information related to Advent of Christianity, I will tell you the history related to history. History traces the man's progress from ancient period to modern times. Ancient period, what kind of progress was there in the ancient time period? What kind of people were there in the ancient time period? In ancient time period, people were not having that much knowledge that the developments which are there at now or in the modern times, that much development was not there in the ancient time period. People were not knowing what kind of things they have to do. They were not knowing what kind of technologies, what kind of tools they have to use for the agriculture. That much knowledge they were not having. But till modern times, people started knowing different things. People got to know that related to the different inventions. People started making the different kind of tools. People started making different kind of weapons. They have started using different kind of techniques for agriculture, for the different industrial areas. Different things are there. People mind was more developed as compared to the people of the ancient time period. So for dividing this only, for explaining, for studying these time period only, for convenience, historians have divided this time period into three broad categories. Three broad categories or three time period. First will be the ancient period. Second is medieval. Period, which is also known as medieval. Which is also known as medieval. And the third one is the modern. those who were living in the ancient period, that much knowledge, that their skills was not developed. The people, those who are living in the modern period, they are knowing more knowledge, they have more facilities, more inventions have been done, and they have started doing different kind of inventions. They have done the different developments in the society. Because this medieval period comes in between the ancient and modern. That's why this is the medieval period. Here, people were not that much developed, the people as compared to this modern period. Here, people started knowing some of the things, but not their skills was not that much developed. This is related to the periods which divides the history into three broad categories. After that, if we talk about the development in these periods, it was gradual, it was very rapid, but it is not there that the development was very gradual. It means that in all the places, in all the countries or everywhere, it was same. It's there that it was uniform, it was not same. Like if in Europe some development was there, in other different places that much development was not there. So in all the throughout the world, the rapid changes was there between the different periods, but it was not uniform, it was not same all over the world or throughout the world. The rapid changes or the changes which occurred in India, it is approximately from 8th century to 18th century. It is related to the India. But if we talk about the Europe, in that same period, if we talk about the changes which occurred in the or the rapid changes which occurred in Europe, it is from approximately from 600 to 1500 CE. During 8th century to 18th century, it is in India, and from 600 to 1500 CE, it is in Europe. During this time period, in the medieval period, only advent of Christianity occurred in Europe. So when advent of Christianity or this Christianity was spread throughout the years, or Christianity was spread throughout the world during this time period, only between from 1600 to 1500 CE, or between the medieval time period. At that time period, only the Christianity was developed, or it was spread in the different other places also. At that time, advent of Christianity means the arrival of Christianity. Advent means arrival. Arrival of Christianity. Christianity was preached by a Jew named Jesus. Jew was the persons or the people who were belonging from mainly Israel. So Jesus was also from that particular family only who were belonging from the Israel. Jesus was born in 4 BCE in Bethlehem in Judea. He was born in 4 BCE in Bethlehem in Judea. Students, kindly underline this line in your book. Jesus was born in 4 BCE in Bethlehem in Judea. It is given in your book. Jesus was considered as Messiah by the people of that particular area, or he was also considered as the Son of the God by the people of that particular area. Why? Messiah means he was the person, or according to the people, he was a person who can solve the problems, or who can take the decisions, or who can solve each and every problem of every people of that particular area according to the will of the God, or with the help of the God, because he was considered as the Son of the God by the people of that particular area. Jesus began his ministry at the age of 30. begin his ministry. Ministry, it means ministry is about giving of knowledge, giving of our time, our knowledge, our resources, and our help to other people, those who are in need. So Jesus began his ministry. He started giving help, he started giving knowledge, he started giving his time to the people of that particular area. He had started moving from one place to other places in that particular area only, for giving knowledge, for giving time, for giving help to the people of that particular area at the age of 30 years only. He began his ministry at the age of 30 years. Jesus was raised in Nazareth and studies Jewish scriptures. When he was raised in Nazareth and he was studying Jewish scriptures, whatever the things which he had understood from the Jewish scriptures, whatever his understanding of the Jewish scriptures, it was interpreted with the law of Moses, and law of Moses was clashed with the traditional Jewish leaders. What is law of Moses? It means, or it is known as the 10 Commandments, and that 10 Commandments was clashed with the traditional Jewish leaders, because the things which was written over there and the knowledge which he had got from that particular, whatever the knowledge, whatever his understandings from the Jewish scriptures which was there, it was totally different from the things which was done or the traditions which was done by the Jewish leaders. Because of this only, the Jewish leaders which was there, they got irritated, and what is the interpretation, whatever the things which was taught by the Jesus, it was written by his disciples in the different gospels. What different gospels are there? They are the disciples. Gospels are the books, or in that particular gospels, the teachings of the Jesus is written, which was written by his different disciples. Now students, we will be going to start the teachings of the Jesus. What are the different teachings of the Jesus? Because the teachings of Jesus is different from the people, the teachings of the knowledge of the different people of that particular area. Teachings of Jesus was simple, and it is summarized in Jewish Bible. The teachings of Jesus was simple, because so that people of all the category, or all the people, either poor, rich, they can understand it easily. He haven't used the difficult languages, he haven't used the difficult words for teaching, giving the knowledge to the other common people of that particular area, or of the different other areas also. According to the teachings of Jesus, he said that people should be good to everyone. People should love each and everyone. People should love their neighbors. Love for neighbors. So this is also one of the teaching of Jesus. He said that love for God should be unconditional. There should not be any kind of demand. There should not be any kind of expectations from the God. The love for God should be unconditional, and whatever the bad things, person should go or person should overthrow the good or turn evils or love for God should be unconditional. Good should can it means trans it means achieve success. On evil. That the good should achieve success on evil. On the evil practices, on the bad practices, good should be successful. He said that people should live simple, and his life was also related to the simplicity. He used to love each and everything. He used to spread love, and he used to live in simple, and he used to follow the simplicity in that particular area and in during his lifetime. According to Jesus, all the people of the area or all the people of the country or all the people of other different religion also should be treated equally. Every person should be treat other people equal. There should not be any kind of discrimination between the different groups, different religions or the different people of the different categories or in between of the men or women. So equality should be there in the area or people should be equal to each other. Treated all people as equals. So whatever the teachings of Jesus which was there, it was recorded by his disciples and it was recorded in Gospels. Teachings of Jesus was recorded in Gospels, which was recorded by his disciples or which was written by his disciples. It is in 4 parts. First is Matthew, second is Mark, third is Luke, and fourth is John. So the teachings of Jesus was recorded in 4 canonical Gospels. Crucifixion. We will be starting crucifixion of Jesus Christ. What does crucifixion means? It means put to a death to a person by binding his wrist and feet on a cross. To put person on death by binding a wrist and Jesus Christ. When Jesus Christ was put to death by binding his wrist on and feet on cross. So students, I am showing you the one image which is given in your book of the Jesus Christ. In this way, Jesus Christ was crucified by the Romans. See, this is a cross. His wrist was binded on this and his feet was binded by here. And at that time in 330 CE, he put to a death and he died because of the crucifixion. Students, if we talk about the Palestine, Palestine was the place where the Nazareth was the place which is located in the Palestine. How the Nazareth is related to the Jesus Christ? In Nazareth, Jesus Christ was raised, and Nazareth is located in Palestine. So Palestine was also under the Romans at that time period. So because Palestine was under the Romans, and Jewish leaders were irritated with the Jesus Christ because of the interpretation of his understandings of the Jewish scriptures. So because the Jewish leaders were irritated with the Jesus Christ, what they have done, they have influenced the Romans that the Jesus Christ is harmful for the emperor and that particular empire. He will be harmful for all the people of that particular area, and he will be harmful for the Romans also. Because of that, the Romans got influenced by the Jewish leaders and they have arrested the Jesus Christ and put him on the crucifixion. Because of the crucifixion, Jesus Christ suffered death by this method only, by this crucifixion, by in 30 CE. Okay, so in 30 CE, by the method of crucifixion, Jesus Christ suffered death. And the day of crucifixion which is there, this day of crucifixion is celebrated as the Good Friday. Day of crucifixion which was done, the day of when Jesus Christ was crucified by the Romans, at that particular day is celebrated by the Christians as a Good Friday. So day of crucifixion is celebrated as Good Friday. Jesus, he came after his death on the third day of his death. That Jesus Christ came again, he took birth again where on the third day of his death. So that particular third day of when he came back, when he lived again, when he started making his life again, when he born again, that particular day is celebrated as Easter in Christianity. Day of resurrection. Day of resurrection. Which means on this particular day only, on the day of Easter, Jesus Christ came again, or Jesus Christ returned to life again. return to life. Return to life, it means the Jesus Christ returned to life on the day of Easter, or on the third day of his death, which is celebrated as Easter in Christianity. If I talk about the Christianity has been spread from different places, or it was spread in the different areas at that time. It was spread in the Roman Empire, also in the different other parts of the Europe, in Persia, also in the different other places, like in the different places of the Europe, in the Persia, in the Roman Empire, in the Eastern Roman Empire, Western Roman Empire, in the other different places. And it was spread by the different people, or by the different disciples of the Jesus Christ. And in that particularly mainly the Saint Paul and the apostles. Efforts, it was in your book, name of this person is given, that is the Saint Paul. He had, because of his effort only, the Christianity was spread all over the world. Now we will be studying the spread of Christianity. The spread of Christianity. Roman Emperor Constantine, he followed the policy of religious tolerance towards the Christianity. What the Roman Emperor Constantine? He built a capital, Byzantium, which is also known as Constantinople, also called as this particular area, this Constantinople or the Byzantium, this particular area is having the Christian architecture. They have the style of Christian architecture. So whatever the architecture, whatever the things which is there in that particular, in this particular place, this particular place is having the architecture of the Christian style. By the 4th century, Christianity was also spread at a very rapid, and by this time period, Christianity became the official language of Constantinople. By 4th century, or during the time period of Constantine Emperor, the Christianity became the official language in Constantinople, and the different places became, or different church also was established in this place during this time period. When it was there that Roman Empire did not fall at that particular time period. It run, or the empire was ruled for longer time period. When Theodosius died, after establishing or after making the capital Byzantium, or after making the Constantinople, when Theodosius died, after establishing of Constantinople, after 60 years of its establishment, Theodosius died. At that time period, the Roman Empire was divided, and Roman Empire was divided into two parts between his two sons. The Roman Empire was divided divided into two parts. Between these two sons, in Eastern Roman Empire which was with his elder son, which was named as the Arcadius. The Eastern Roman Empire was under the Arcadius. He was the son of Theodosius. And the Western Roman Empire was under Honorius. He was his second son. He was the second son of the Theodosius. So he started ruling at the age of 11 only. So the Western Roman Empire was under the Honorius and the Eastern Roman Empire was under the Arcadius. So the area of the Constantinople was under the Arcadius. It was under the rule of the first son or the elder son, that is the Arcadius, and the second one, that is in this, here Rome comes. In the Western Roman Empire, Rome comes, which was under the Honorius. He was the ruler of the 11 years only. The barbarian tribes, they have took shelter or they have attacked on the Western Roman Empire, and they have started ruling on that particular empire. So the area of the Honorius, a younger son of Theodosius, he had given, or it was snatched by him by the barbarian tribes. So it was not there that because Western Roman Empire was under the barbarian empires, the Roman Empire, full Roman Empire was the decline. But after Western Roman Empire, also Eastern Roman Empire existed for 1,000 years. After that, there were different reasons why the Roman Empire was declining, why the Roman Empire started declining. So let's discuss the reasons for the decline of the Roman Empire. The very first reason for the decline of the Roman Empire is that Christianity was less tolerant towards as compared to the other cultures or other religion. Christianity was less tolerant towards other cultures and religions. The second point is that the soldiers were they were supporting their military leaders rather than the emperors. They were not supporting the emperors, they were supporting their military leaders, because of which the military leaders, they have started doing their own methods, they have started using their own methods, they have started using the methods against the emperor, because of which emperor was not able to rule on the particular empire properly. Soldiers started supporting military leaders rather than emperors. falling of the economy, because emperors were not, their economy was getting low, and because economy was getting low, it is related, because economy is related to the money. If the empire will not be having the money in that situation, they will not be able to do the development in that particular area or in that particular empire. So because of the falling of the economy, emperor was not able to handle the empire properly, was not able to do the development in the empire properly. So this is also the reason why the Roman Empire was declined. Falling of economy. This is the third reason. The fourth is that the different leaders or the different officers, they have started putting heavy and more taxes on the middle class, which could be because of the rainfall, because of the loss of the agriculture or the grains, because of the things, because of the grains was not there, the agriculture was not properly done. Because of that only, the people were not able to pay the taxes. People were not having that much money, people were not having that much grains, because of which they were not able to give the taxes properly. And when the people were not able to give the taxes, the heavy taxes and the more taxes to the emperor or the empire, because of that only, or because of which only, the empire was not able to establish properly. Heavy and unjust taxes. Because the all the things was done by the leaders, all the things was done by the servants only, the Romans started becoming lazy. They have started giving their works to the other people. They have started giving their works to the people, those who were coming from the other places, the people, those who were the different tribes which were coming in that particular area. So because of which, the different tribes which were coming in the Roman Empire, they have taken the advantage of that thing and they have started capturing that particular area under them. So because of the laziness of the emperors or the laziness of the Romans, the Roman Empire was also declined. Romans became lazy. The next point I can say that the barbarian was they were also the tribes. The barbarians, you can say, the people those who were not belonging from that particular area, the people from other different areas or people from different other cultures, they were known as the barbarians. So what the Romans had done, they had started hiring them for for doing the works, for guard of that particular area. So because of which, because barbarian understood that the Romans became lazy and they have started misusing that particular thing. The barbarians, what they have done, they have started misusing and they have started capturing more and more areas of the Roman Empire, because of which Roman Empire had declined. Barbarians were hired by the Romans to guard the borders. So this was the thing which was misused by this was the work which was misused by the barbarians. They have misused it and they have started capturing the area of the Roman Empire. This is the biggest reason why the Roman Empire was declined. Now students, we will be in starting the next topics, that is the barbaric invasion. The main reason for the decline of Roman Empire was the barbaric invasion. In the barbaric invasion, first came the Goths. They were the Germans, and the two groups of the Goths come, the Goths and the East Goths. Two groups were there, Goths and East Goths. The Goths and the East Goths were the, you can say they were the greedy, they were lawless, they were not following any kind of law, they were treacherous, they were the people those who can harm anyone without thinking anything. Their main motive was to harm any other people for their benefit. So this kind of people were the Goths and the East Goths. What they have done, they run away from the Huns. They run away from the Huns. Huns were the biggest enemy of the barbarians. They were the biggest enemy of the barbarians. So Goths run away from the barbarians, and what they came in Rome for taking the shelter. They took shelter in the Rome, and what they have done, while taking shelter in the Rome, they have started doing different kind of, using different kind of methods to capture the area of the Rome, to capture the area of that places. So they have started attacking on the different king, they have started attacking on the different people or the different emperors of that particular area, and seized the different places under their control. Like you can see different groups like Vandals, Angles, Saxons, France. They have used different kind of methods to destroy this empire. So these are the different groups which have used different methods to destroy the Roman Empire. Next, you can say the last emperor, which was the last Roman emperor, Romulus. In 476 CE, last Roman emperor, that was the Romulus, he was overthrown by the Roman leader, that is the Roman leader that is Odysseus. Who became the first barbarian ruler of Rome. The Roman leader who overthrew the last Roman emperor, that was the Romulus, in 476 CE, he became the first barbarian ruler of this time, or the first barbarian ruler of the Rome. Students, in this video, I will be explaining you till here only. In the next video, the remaining topics or the remaining paragraphs which is given in your book and even the question answers I will be explaining. Thank you.